Don't let anyone hear about this, but I'm really disappointed in the quality of this engine.
Let me tell all the fans of this motorcycle right now, don't defend KTM. This didn't just happen to me, it happened to several motorcycles that were built this year. The same thing happened to my friend, and now to me too. And many people contacted me over messages. When it happened, I was also disappointed, but when I find out that it happens often and that it has already happened on a lot of motorcycles, I even get angry. KTM quality has become worse. Now I will show you what happens to also other riders and their messages. Look at what happened to his piston. It broke into small pieces, and this only happened to him at 65 hours. Yes, you heard correctly, only 65 hours. He says that he is the first owner of the motorcycle, that he did all the services properly, and that this happened to him after 65 hours. He did not find the cause of this failure, the oil pump is working, and that it happened at the end of riding. So the motorcycle was warmed up and this shouldn't have happened to it. Is it a bit strange? Also, his mechanic says that the Vertex pistons are no longer as lasting as before. Now what is this about? Is the quality of the pistons worse by chance, or are companies doing it on purpose? This is just one of the mechanics who confirmed my opinion. Something is really happening with the quality.
The owners of large companies sat down at the table and agreed to make weaker parts in order to sell as many replacement parts as possible and make as much money as possible. But shut up about it. Keep paying expensive parts and change them more often now. Don't tell anyone about this. Let it be a secret between us.
Wake up, riders. We are paying something expensive and the prices are always going up. And what about the quality? Then it goes down and it's normal for us. Why do we suffer and remain silent about that? If you have had problems with your TPI, contact me over messages and I will be happy to investigate the problems with you and how to prevent them. When we manage to save one TPI rider from having the same problem as I experienced, I will feel that I have succeeded and I will be happy. I am really worried and surprised why KTM decided for 2023 to use Kymco cylinders instead of ELKO, which are of sufficient quality. Can Kymco really make such a high-quality cylinder that can withstand the extreme condition? If something is good, then why change it? It is certainly in the interest of saving a large amount of money. As soon as I bought the motorcycle, I received a message from a friend. He said I got bike with Kymco cylinder. I asked him, what do you mean by that? He told me it won't last long. To be honest, I felt bad and I thought he was joking. Before this happened to me, my close friend had the same thing happen on his 2022 model. His piston also broke the head, connecting rod, cylinder, and bearings. When we talk about the damage that occurred, we can say that it is the same like mine. And I must say that it had a completely factory engine with an original head and that it worked flawlessly until this happened. He always uses motorex cross power oil and rides the engine a lot better than me. I'm riding a lot with the gas wide open while he rides more in mid revs, but everything that happened to me happened to him anyway, so it's a bit strange. With the fact that I know a couple of engines have already experienced this disaster, I am also worried about the other TPI riders. So please pay more attention and perhaps open the engine ahead of time and inspect the piston. Because obviously the quality of the pistons is no longer the same as it used to be. In the last couple of days, I talked to a lot of mechanics who deal with the repair of enduro bikes, and they all confirmed that the quality of the materials has been worse lately and that this is the reason why this is happening. On one bike with 60 hours, the crankshaft has already suffered and owner needed to do bottom end rebuild, and everything else was okay. Now what is the cause of that? Probably poor manufacturing quality of the bearings on the crankshaft. It's a shame for KTM, it's so expensive and offers so little quality. Don't get me wrong, it's a good bike, but it has some mistakes that the factory doesn't want to admit. And we ordinary people have to pay for it all when some things happen, not with our own mistake. Through the conversation with the mechanic, I came to know that many new engines do not have a correctly adjusted power valve. He says that it has become normal that you need to open and adjust a new engine before riding. It's strange that KTM doesn't have better control, and that engines like this can leave the factory without being completely in order. We can ask ourselves who assembles these engines, and are they really experts who do it? What we have concluded so far, KTM started using parts that have a lower quality. The control in the factory is weaker because the bikes come out without being properly adjusted. I think that this is just the beginning, and that in the future we will face even more problems with the quality of everything. It is a known fact that the older model TPI had a much better clutch than the new model. Since 2020, the clutch has started to behave strangely. Many riders do not immediately know what it is about. But we found out that they put the end part of weaker material. And if the engine was overheated, that part would distort, and that did not happen on models before 2019. I'm holding that part in my hands right now. Some call it plate pressure. At least I know it's gray color.
I want to wake up all KTM riders. We pay a lot and we need to get a very good engine in return and not end up with the price going up every year and the quality goes down and we keep quiet and pretend that nothing is happening. I know that this is your hobby and that you love it and that you don't regret spending money on it, but we still have to fight for our rights. Also, we are all silent when it comes to suspension on KTM. Why Kymco and Beta both have better KYB suspension? That works much better than WP fork and WP shock. And the KTM is much more expensive than those bikes I mentioned. We want better bikes, which are more reliable. We miss the old carburetor KTM, those were the golden days.
Please support this video with a like, and if you have any information about problems I mentioned in this video, share it with me in the comments.
We are riders, we are family, we stick together.